All right. This is one I've kind of been dancing around the edges of for a while now, taking pot shots at the intellectuals or whatever. But I want to talk about the notion of rationality and thought. Now, on principle, I feel like those notions are, generally speaking, good. Like the notion of coming up with words to describe what you're feeling so that you can communicate it to another person, or coming up with ideas that help you to organize stuff in your brain, help you to delineate between the different types of stuff. That's a good idea, generally speaking. But I feel like a lot of people take it to an extreme. So if I had to describe the notion of thought and rationality, I would think of it like this. If thought and rationality is like the house, then observation and experience are the bricks and the mortar, right? They're the more fundamental, primary way of knowing things, the thing upon which correct inference and good modalities of thought are built on, right? But I feel like it's very easy to get lost in your own thoughts, right? And I feel a lot of people go that far. They go to the extent where they almost consider thought to be the more fundamental thing than observation or experience. They use thought as a means of subverting experience in their debating and stuff like that, which I feel like is wrong-headed. And for the most part, if people think about it, I think they would see that it's wrong-headed. But I also understand that it's very tantalizing. The thing about observation, no matter how good it is, it's limited by line of sight. You can only see so far, you can only hear so much, whatever. But correct inference, it is a thing to be desired to make a man wise, right? If done right, it allows for a much more complete perspective, right? And it allows you to go a lot further than your eyes can see or your ears can hear. I think the problem inherent in that, and the thing that maybe allows us to get lost in there, is our inferences. I tend to think our inferences, they're never perfect. So the further out you get, the more instabilities compound upon one another, and the more it becomes this type of warped alternate reality. You get lost in your own head. And I think that's one of the dangers. The other danger is that you also, like, given the hardware involved, you can't, like, even inference, even though you can go a lot further with inference, it's not limitless in my mind. So again, wrapping this up, I think the notion of rationality, trying to find good modes of thought and stuff like that, admirable, advantageous in its own right. But also it's fraught with dangers, and also it's not always possible or useful in my mind. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.